Hey everybody, Extrasify here. Welcome back to another gold making video and another episode of our new weekly series in which I talk about my personal top 5 favorite gold farms from each expansion, starting with vanilla and going all the way up to current content. Last week we did the Burning Crusade, which means this week we are obviously going to dive into Wrath of the Lich King. Now, I know that these past couple of episodes aren't doing that great in terms of viewership, but I personally believe that it's a very useful farm as it covers a wide variety of farms. It's not just transmog or just material gathering, things like that. So I personally enjoy making these, and I know a lot of people enjoy them as well. So with that stuff out of the way, let's go ahead and start with number 5. So guys, coming up at number 5 on the list, we have Farming Halls of Lightning. Now, if you head on over to Ulduar, it's going to be the dungeon on the right, as the dungeon on the left is obviously the Halls of Stone. And in my opinion, the Halls of Lightning has a much better loot table in terms of transmogs, and on top of that, you also have a chance of getting the coveted Astral Light Bow, which is an extremely rare transmog bow that goes for several 100,000 gold if you are lucky enough to get it to drop. That is definitely the best item to get from this dungeon, but aside from that, there's actually a bunch of great green transmog sets, but the main items to look out for are the weapons and the shields in particular, as those tend to have a much higher value than a lot of the Wrath of the Lich King armor, just by comparison. You also get a bunch of these Relics of Ulduar, which are reputation items, and go for a gold or two each, and you get an absolute ton of them, so those are all nice to keep and sell as well. Then just look out for any nice world drop items like epics or blues as well, as that will obviously help the gold total. So yeah, that's pretty much what to look out for here in Halls of Lightning. The runs are pretty quick, they take about 4 minutes each, and you just rinse and repeat. It's a pretty good gold farm, nothing too crazy though. I did do a 50 runs episode of this dungeon if you want to check it out on my channel. So yeah, number 5 is Halls of Lightning. Let's move on now to number 4. And coming up next at number 4, we actually have a rogue specific farm. Now this is a bit of a more unique farm. I have done a video on this in the past, but we are farming for a toy that only drops through pickpocketing. We are talking, of course, about the Decahedral Dwarven Dice. Now, just make sure to be on a rogue, as obviously the only way to get this is through pickpocketing. Basically, you're going to want to fly over to the far left side of Icecrown at this little island over here called the Onslaught Harbor. I'll put a picture on the map for you guys. And basically, you're going all around this island and pickpocketing. Now, you're hoping for, obviously, the Decahedral Dwarven Dice, as this is a toy, and toy collectors will want this, as it goes for a very, very nice price. Now, these toys tend to have a slower sale rate, but it's a very nice item to have on the auction house at all times. There are an absolute ton of mobs on this island. Now, you can do what I'm doing in the video, where I let the NPCs live after pickpocketing them, or you can kill them to increase the respawn rate and go ahead and pickpocket them a little quicker, as the pickpocketing cooldown is a little longer than the respawn of these guys, so it would be a little quicker to kill them, but I'm just showing you guys the route for the video's sake. Now you can expect to get 1 dice every hour if you're a little lucky, or every other hour, as the drop rate is quite low for this item, but the price more than makes up for it. So yeah, just a very nice item to have on the auction house at all time. A more unique item, but it still has a hefty price. So with that being said, let's go on to number 3. Real quickly, want to give a big shout out to my affiliate, goldcap.com. This website has everything you need for gold guides. As you can see, they're all nicely organized here, and the website is adding more and more farms every single week. If you want to unlock access to the full website, just go ahead and click the link in my description. Hit sign up now and become a member for $9.99 a month or $99.99 a year. I can promise you guys will not regret this absolutely lucrative gold making website to greatly increase your gold making potential. Alright, so for number 3 on the list, we have a dual gathering farm. Now, this has always been a very tried and true steady gold farm in the past, and it still is today. Now, most people just bring a mining character here, as the titanium ore and the Saronite have a very, very nice price, and they're always fast selling. You can always earn at least 15 to 20,000 gold here, if not more. But if you also have a mining and herbalism person, you can even squeeze out a bit more gold with also doing herbalism. Now, the prices of the Wrath of the Lich King herbs don't really go for that much, but every bit of gold helps, and since you're already flying around, you might as well pick up the herbs as well. Now, the route is a little confusing at first, but I'll have a picture on the map, and once you get used to it, it's about the best route I've found, as since Wintergrasp is quite a small area, the respawn rate isn't as fast. The respawn rate is pretty quick, but you still have a little bit of waiting time, especially if you're using like dragon riding to fly around, which will be way faster even. So instead of waiting for nodes to respawn, bring in herbalism here, gather some extra gold while you wait. If you are going to do this farm, make sure to use a Dark Moon Firewater, as that will increase your gathering speed time. But yeah, it's pretty simple and straightforward gold farm that you can get about 20,000 gold an hour per average on. So I highly recommend doing this gold farm. Coming in at number 2 on the list, we have a very nice gold farm dungeon for transmog and world drop items, as well as some nice materials such as the Borean leather if you bring a skinner. I am talking, of course, about Drak'Tharon Keep. Now, I did another 50 runs episode of this dungeon in the past, and it was absolutely crazy value, so make sure to check that video out. I'll link those in the description. But yeah, I mean, there are countless good sets here, especially like the Bloodmar set. For some reason, I've sold a bunch of those for thousands of gold each, and it's an absolutely amazing valued set, but there are an absolute ton of amazing value sets. Obviously, like I said, with Halls of Lightning, the weapons and shields from Wrath of the Lich King are going to have the main value, so make sure to keep an eye out for those, and as well as any nice world drop epics or blues as well. On top of that, you again also have the chance for that coveted Astral Light Bow, so if you get that, you're absolutely going to be swimming in gold. But yeah, as well as that, make sure to bring a skinner so that you can skin all the bats and the raptors as you go through the dungeon. And on top of that, this dungeon is pretty quick. It takes me about 3 minutes to do a run, so you will get locked out after probably a little over half an hour. But overall, this dungeon is one of my absolute favorite Wrath of the Lich King dungeons, and I cannot recommend it enough, as you get an absolute plethora of items that have a very nice value. And for the amazing number 1 spot on the list, I have a very tried and true Wrath of the Lich King item gold farm, and that of course is for the Battered Hilt. So we are here on the map. We are in the Pit of Saron on heroic difficulty, as that's the only way that the Battered Hilt can drop. It will not drop on normal difficulty, so that also means that we cannot kill any bosses. This is just a trash farm. Go around and just gather up all the mobs in this front area here. Now, what I love about this farm is obviously the Battered Hilt has a very nice value, going for anywhere from 30 to over 50,000 gold. It really is server dependent. Now, if you don't know, the Battered Hilt is a quest item that after doing a few quests, you get this awesome Quell Sorar quest item sword as an appearance. Now, a lot of people will buy this for the appearance itself, as it looks very cool and it's very nostalgic for those Wrath of the Lich King players. And obviously, they don't feel like farming it, so they'll just go ahead and buy it. Now, what I also love about this farm is, yes, the runs are super quick. Yes, the Battered Hilt has a very nice value. But on top of that, if you farm on a tailor that has Northrend tailoring unlocked, make sure to go to the trainer for that in Dalaran before coming over. You have a chance for some unique patterns to drop. They can only drop to a Northrend tailor. That's why I emphasize being Northrend tailoring. But once you have that learned, you have a chance for these awesome shirt patterns to drop. You have like the rustic patterns, you have the lumberjack patterns. Now, these patterns will go for a very nice amount, ranging anywhere from like 30k to I've seen them go and sell for as high as 80 to 100,000. Absolutely crazy prices. So that is very nice supplemental gold for the Battered Hilt farm. Now, over the years, this has been one of the most consistent farms, so this is why I love this dungeon so much to farm, and it just has to be my number 1. So that's my list. Let me know what you guys think about my list in the comment section below. Let me know if I made any bad choices, if I forgot any amazing farms. Aside from that, make sure to check out awesomegoldcap.com. Use my link in the description to sign up and unlock full access to the site. They're doing a lot of amazing work over there, helping y'all make millions of gold. With that being said, thank you again for watching today's video. Good luck with your auction house sales, and I'll see you guys in the next gold making video.